55 days out until the Florida votes for governor. The I-4 corridor, of course, key for both Rick Scott and Charlie Crist. And we rode the campaign bus with Scott on Monday. And today, Charlie Crist stopped by the Fox 35 studios. Always good to have with us former Governor Charlie Crist. Good to have you here in the studio with us.
Thank you, sir.
Fresh off of a primary win, so that's the good news, but I do want to talk about that. And Democratic enthusiasm, because there's more registered Democrats in Florida than Republicans, and yet more Republicans came out to the polls. Is that worrisome for you, and how do you excite the base?
Not really. I'm pretty excited. We got about 75% of the vote in the Democratic primary, so if I'm not excited, something's wrong with me. I'm pleased by that, but you're right. Turnout is critical.
Right.
We're focused on turnout for the general election. That's where we need the base to come out. That's where we need the moderate Republicans to come out. That's where we need every Floridian to vote. And they can start voting pretty soon. They can vote by mail. They can early vote. I would encourage every one of the viewers to do that.
October 1 early vote.
You got it. That's right, Bob. Yes, sir.
Did you get a good financial bump after the primary? Because Rick Scott is really outspending you at this point.
We're never going to be able to match them dollar for dollar, and that's okay. All we have to do is be able to communicate our message, talk about the importance of education, that we need to have a governor who cares about the environment, that we need to have a governor who will be an advocate for the middle class and our senior citizens and make sure they don't get squeezed by this economy, which many people unfortunately are right now.
Where is this enthusiasm going to come? Which of the issues is it going to be? Is it going to be medical marijuana? Because that's certainly going to drive Democrats to the polls.
Oh, listen, I think it's going to have that effect. Nobody knows for sure, but the probability is good, and I think that is an issue that really galvanizes. I'm for it. I'm going to vote for it. Rick Scott is against it and opposes it, and so I think it's important that your viewers know, if you want somebody who's compassionate, particularly about people in pain and that may be suffering, then you want Charlie Crist to be your governor, a guy who supports medical marijuana because it's the right thing to do.
This is a question that you've had to answer along the campaign trail for months and months. You were a Republican governor, you ran for the Senate as an independent, and now you're a Democrat. Now people are saying, is he a flip-flopper? Which Charlie Crist are we getting here? How have you been answering that?
You're going to get the same guy. And you can judge that by, not their words, but judge by my deeds. What I did as governor before. A guy who fought for education, even though we had a great recession. A guy who cared about the environment so much we tried to buy the Everglades and put together a package to do that. A guy who understood that women's rights are important and they should have their choice. And even when I was governor before as a Republican, I vetoed the ultrasound bill on women. A guy who fought for educators and teachers, vetoed a bill that was going to put more emphasis on testing and teaching to the test. I'm the same guy I've always been. My own former party, at least the leadership of the Republican Party, went hard right with the advent of the Tea Party.
A hot button issue that's going on right now went all the way to our state Supreme Court. They wanted to toss it back to the district courts. Gay marriage. Where would a Charlie Crist administration fall on this issue?
Fully support it. I believe in equality. I think it's the right thing to do, and I think that, our country has moved very rapidly on this issue, and I think it's wonderful. Even the Pope, God bless him, said, "Who am I to judge?" It's the right thing to do. As President said not long ago, who am I to tell you who to love, or frankly, who to marry? And when you think about it, he's spot on. I think it's right.
Governor, you're 55 days out from the election. Right. Where do you go from here? What is your tack?
Well, literally Kissimmee after this,
literally,
and then back to South Florida to Miami. But where we go from here is just continue to carry our message to our fellow Floridians. You deserve an honest governor. You deserve a governor who will fight for education and make sure our teachers are treated fairly. You deserve to have a governor who will fight for our senior citizens and not let them get squeezed by utility bills and property insurance and property tax bills. That's what Florida deserves. We deserve better. And in 55 days, we'll get it.
Well, Governor, we're on the I-4 corridor. I assume we're going to be seeing a lot more of you.
Oh, you will.
Good to see you again.
Thanks, Bobby, too.